Good morning, all. It is still morning, okay? This is the RefWorks graduate workshop. We are about a minute out. That's why I'm looking down at the corner. Everyone can see my screen? Okay, good. I'll just start ahead. I am recording, just to let you know. If you're concerned about privacy, and I understand that, please feel free to comment in the chat or ask questions in the chat. And then that way then you don't have to appear on the screen. Like I said, I'm Stephanie Aisha. I'm the Access Services Librarian, and I'm the one most familiar with RefWorks, so I am teaching the class. My colleague Mohammed Reza is here. Mohammed is the Reference and Instruction Librarian Liaison to the Schools of Education, Business, and Engineering, and he is manning the comments form and keeping me on time and under control. We also have someone in the audience. Hello. What we are going to do with this workshop is provide an introduction to RefWorks. And RefWorks is a citation management system. When I was in school, it was note cards. You had the note card with the source on it, and then you had note cards for your text. RefWorks and other products like it will replace that. You may be familiar with EndNote. There are other ones that you can use. So this will be just a provider. Mohammed should have on the chat a copy of the quick guide that we've created. And I'm going to cover similar topics in the quick guide, but the quick guide will allow you to refer to things if you're like me and you sleep or you think about something else and have to come back. Okay, so I'm going to start at the library web or the university webpage. Then I go to library. And there's two ways to get to RefWorks. It's under databases.
Stephanie, can you share your...
Am I not sharing my screen? Ouch, okay. Could they see me at all?
Yes, they can see your picture.
Okay.
You know you have shared the...
Okay. Rats, okay.
Yes, I can see, so you can
start. Okay, so here we are at the university page, library, and then at the library under databases, view databases, R for RefWorks, and then there's RefWorks. You can also go, once you have your account created, RefWorks, ProQuest.com. And that's also on your sheet there. So it's going to remember me. So I'm going to sign myself out so that you can see the main screen you're going to do. If you if you have an account already, you can log in here like I do, but you will generally need to create an account. The use login for my institution does not work with RefWorks, but you would go into here and enter your UTPB email. It won't know that if you go through Gmail that you are really as a student here. So use your account, your university login, what email to create an account. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to sign in because I already have an account. When you start, it has all references as the default. So I have a total of 28 references in various folders in RefWorks.
I have a question. Stephanie. So RefWorks, if I want to use the RefWorks, I have to go through from the library database.
I would probably go through the library
because
first.
If I just Google RefWorks, it's not. I have to go through library.
Yeah, I would go for the first time. You're just to be safe. That's a good point. I would go through the library. And then once you have that account, then you can bookmark refworksproquest.com. How does that sound? That's a good evening. Okay. If you go to click the RefWorks button, it'll take you to the blank main page here. And I'm going to take a tour around the page. Is that going to let me? Good. And then you can see all the different things going on here. And then we're going to practice. So that's your home page. So untitled project. Okay. This is a newer thing they've added. So use projects when you want to keep collections of references sealed off from each other, like in systematic reviews. I don't need to do that yet, but it is an option here. And then the Knowledge Center will have you working with projects. So I'm going to go back. And I'm in Untitled. So when would you want to use a project? Like I said, definitely when you want to break them up. Perhaps you're working on your thesis or dissertation or a long-term research project that you don't want to have folders about it mixed in with other paper projects. That could be a good one. If you're the type of person that likes everything separate, that could be a good thing too. I can imagine getting something with a topic with a lot of folders and just wanting them off on their own. That would be another time to use a project as well. I'm not that ambitious right now, so I just have the one set of folders and the main Untitled project page. And here I can share this project if I wanted to share all these folders, the whole thing. And then managing adds it and does different things like that. So if I was working with a group and then I could share, you would share the whole thing. When you're sharing projects, it's the whole group, but you can also share folders. I'm doing this project with this person, or have questions about my references. Let me share it with my instructor to see if I'm on the right track. Or I could imagine your advisor for your thesis. I want to see what your references are so far. You could share the folder if you wanted to. Okay. So this is the library. Looks like a little formal New York Library button. And that just that takes you to the university. That takes you to the different languages. There's a lot of different languages in here for different users, which I think is very nice. This is me. The library takes me to the library, my document and reference library. So they're counting this as a library. Settings. I get 5 MB of document storage for the PDFs. My name, my role, different things like that. Why I wanted to show you this is there is a new RefWorks and there is a legacy RefWorks. And I'm asking it each time which version I would like to export to, because I am teaching it. If you know you're in the new RefWorks already, you can automatically send your exports to the new RefWorks. Or if you know you're still using the legacy, you can send them there automatically.
So who are creating the new account, they don't have to.
Yeah, so you may go in there, and double check when you set up. And then we do not allow sync with Dropbox. However, there is a drop function for different things into RefWorks. And then if I have any custom fields I want to add, like I want a field in each record for a link to the document, or I want a place where I can put my notes, or I want different things like that aren't in the traditional areas of a record, you have the option of doing custom fields, changing your password, removing the account. So you can really, each of these records that have your bibliographic information, you can really determine what else you want in there. And I'll show you how to add things, how to modify stuff so you can create something in the record that would help you do what you needed to do, or to help you search it better. I could think of a way to create a field for perhaps the methodology, if it's a study or a certain type of article. So when I'm doing my literature review and I just want to look at the longitudinal studies, I can look at those without having to scroll through a list of references. And I have done things where I do the type of study, I do the purpose, I do the research questions. As you're analyzing each article, as you go along, I had to do that for a paper project, results, conclusions. It could be possible that you do that in RefWorks and have all of your stuff in one place. So those fields give you the option of really personalizing what you have in those records. Tools. Okay. There are tools or attachments that you can use to make RefWorks easier. In particular, when you are writing your paper and citing, that comes down, or this saves references on the web. So I have Save to RefWorks automatically. You install it on your browser from any website. The idea is that you are opened into a screen, it has a reference, you click Save to RefWorks, and that starts the ball rolling. And we'll give it a shot. Usually this works with one reference. If you have a list of them, export it. But if you have one, you can try the Save to RefWorks button. And then use RefWorks add-on for your papers. This is the Write and Cite. So this works, this is downloaded to your personal computer, and it allows you to, you'll have a tab in Word, and then you go in and can enter the citations automatically with RefWorks as you go along. And I will show you that later as well. So like I said, the Save to RefWorks is web-based, but the Write and Cite is on your computer. Like I asked ITS installed it for this one. They install it for my office. So it is something that you will use on your own computer and install it there for where you're going. But it is a very nice service and product there. And then I can log out. This is our video tutorials on YouTube from RefWorks. So those are very nice, advanced. And even for administrators. And note how I have a new tab. I have the RefWorks tab and I have the YouTube tab. So I can close that and still have RefWorks. And then this is their Knowledge Center or contact support. And then this is probably, the Knowledge Center may be a little more for libraries or organizations, but it could be, if you have your own little download or different things, it could help you too. I'm gonna go back. There we go. When you click on your home, or as I call it home, you get the last imported. Whenever you bring something from a database into RefWorks, it goes to last imported. And it sits there until you do something with it. And if you wait too long, it probably will go into trash. I could do my display. That's my references per page. And then look at the different views I have. Your normal view. Let me go into a folder real quick. and show you. So there's normal view. There's table view. For you are more familiar with that. Full view gives me all the abstracts and different things right there. Longer views. And I always do the citation view. So this shows me in my case, APA, to see the citations. And I will use this when I am importing to make sure that I have all the information that I need in the citation.
So I have a question. So first I have to import all these.
Yes.
Source from.
You import from Falcon Finder, you import from your databases, you import from all different, you can manually enter things, you can drop individual ones in.
So for example, I got an article from a Falcon Finder, nice article. So I can import that information here, and it's automatically generate the citation.
It would automatically generate a citation. But
it's organized.
Yes, and you also have to be careful with what comes in and what information comes in. And I have noticed, I usually do APA because that's what I taught. And the title rules for APA, if you know it, can be very tricky. First word after like the semicolon or first word of the subtitle, everything else in lowercase except for proper nouns. And I would do one where I could create a bibliography, and I always double check. It's not a substitute for double checking because it would not capitalize the word I ran. And I ran as a proper noun. So I would have to go back and do that. But it also does a lot of things well for you. But I use the citation view so that I can catch those things as they are coming in. Like for here, the Wall Street Journal online edition, it's warning me it doesn't have these things. You know, what do I need to do? So that alerts me to go double check it. Also, when you click on the gear, you can change. They have 6 styles. You can change your style. Like you can save styles. You have recent styles. You can see I've been looking around here. APA and AMA, different things, and you can set your citation style. That could be another good reason to go to a project. If you have 2 different things with citation styles. I just thought of that. If my thesis wants Turabian, but I'm doing a thing for an English class that wants MLA, then I may put one in one project and another project and set the citation style. Now we go. Here we go. See, you can drop files here if you have files in different sources, which is very nice. Your legalese. This is the trash. Anything you delete goes there, and then you delete the folder. So I don't have any deleted items, but when you're in deleted, mean it, because it can't be a done, and they'll warn you. Tags. These are different tags. Sometimes the articles will come with tags. You can create your own tags. I could see something like, and then search the tags. Almost like subject headings for me, but I could also see myself doing maybe what section of a paper you wanted it to do. Tag literature review. Or tag the part of a paper that this would be good for. Like I have American Public Media in here. I could do when they did the title change, the introduction of podcasts. If I am dividing my paper into different sections, you could do tags with those sections. So then you're writing about the name change, then you can search in RefWorks, look at the references that discuss the name change with the tag, and then look at those. That's optional, that's up to you. Now here's the folders. So right now I have 2 folders. I have APM for my fictional paper on American Public Media, and then I have Jane Austen, and I have 2 different subfolders. So I have specific works, and then I have possibilities. And what I mean by possibilities are articles that have potential, I just don't know where they go yet. Or when I used RefWorks one time, I had a specific folder for not reviewed yet. I just added some things. Then I came back and I looked at the not reviewed yet and decided, okay, this could go in this folder. This can go in this folder. You can name these whatever you want. You could sub. I would probably choose some things that will spark a memory for different things. So folders and then not in folders. That's another place you could store things in. You can sort the folders. We could add a folder if we wanted to. So with the 2 people you share, folders at UT Texas Permian Basin. This is institutionally shared. So if you have your folders, you can share them institutional wise, or you can share them with specific people. Maybe there's things for a group and you're not real concerned about privacy or anything, and you can share it institutionally. Or there's something that you want everyone to know about, or if there's communal information that people would need. And then share a folder. So I choose the folder. We're going to do APM. Only invited people may access, or the institutional, where anyone within your organization may join this folder. Okay, you can create a public URL and do that way. What if you're writing an article? Or for a school newspaper or something, or for the website, and you want anyone with this URL to find more information, then you could use that too. Okay, oh, it's already shared. Okay, so I already shared it with Mohammed. So let me enter another email address. EMB, is that right for Margaret?
Margaret, yes, and.
Yeah, okay. I am going to share this with Margaret, the other reference and instruction librarian. Well, she can read, she can annotate. Oh, she could annotate. So if you needed someone else's comments, like if we were sharing with our faculty member, then they could annotate them and go, I like that. Okay. This is a classic, good job, or different things like that. Or your partners could do it. I've read this, I'd like to use it for X. So I'm just going to give Margaret reading access. Okay. And then I'm going to share that folder. Okay. Done. So Margaret gets to see all my APM stuff. Last imported there. Use RefWorks to search your institution's catalog and other online sources. So right now we have it with Library of Congress and PubMed. Those are all the ones that we can link right now. But in theory, you could go into RefWorks, search different things, and then export easier. And then here are all my references. And then you can see in the references, you have This field may be required, click to add if I need to. These are missing. So I would need to go through these when I'm ready to cite to make sure that these are correct. And to do that, you click the title. There it shows you all your tags, all your fields. And then you could edit it this way. And then also you can go in here to look to see if we have the full text and download it if you want to. Okay. So are we all familiar with RefWorks?
Yeah, the interface.
Okay, so when I start clicking and doing things, it won't be so scary. And then you can see around. Now, with my use of RefWorks personally and my teaching of RefWorks and my familiarity with RefWorks, where you really have to work with RefWorks is to your importing of citations and double checking the records for the citation style. If you want the full text loaded in with your 5 MB, you need to do that at the time and download it directly. It doesn't go in automatically if you export from a database. So where I personally had problems, where my learning curve with RefWorks was I had this idea that I could export all these citations and then go do something else and come back and worry about it later, which required me to go find the article again or find the record, check the things, get the full text. So the best way to do this and use RefWorks is when you are exporting things, let's say you do a search, and I'm going to show you, stop, check those citations, download those PDFs, and then go to the next search or the next database. And I think once you find your way of working with RefWorks, you're really going to like it, especially with the bibliography options or different options like that, because it's going to save you a lot of typing. So I am in my folder. It's giving me some warnings. I can add a reference to this directly to this folder. I can enter information manually. If I wanted to, I can import from other citation managers. I can download the document directly into RefWorks here in this folder. This is the folder level. And then again, they're sharing and exporting. This is the creating the bibliography. So I create the bibliography here. I do a quick cite, and then I can customize the citation. So there is my reference work, my list. And then again, it gets the title,
So
masculinity.
basically, which you saved,
Mhm.
11 resource in your folder,
Mhm.
the automatically
Mhm.
downloaded.
And it already makes the reference
And
list.
you import or drop all this folder from Falcon Finder.
Yeah. So you have to make sure that what comes in is good. And then double check here, because I'm seeing the title again, though that did good. But some of the other ways don't, so I have to check with it. But this saves me, if anyone's old school, this saves you a lot of typing. I copy and paste it in my Word document. And I just make a few modifications if I need to. And off it goes. And then when I show write and cite, That saves you a lot of time. Because I was idea. Then I had to change my track to how do I cite it. This way you don't have to. That takes me back to Jane Austen. It depends what I select. Then I could trash, then I could add tags, then I could do, oh, more here is fun. I'd find duplicates. Good. Because sometimes you enter it. You find the same article in multiple databases and you go, that looks good. And when the databases aren't, references aren't 21 and they're 121, it's an easier way to check for it. So let's see what these tools are to improve my workflow. These are the RefWorks add-ons and different things there. And then I can search in all references for a title. So let's see. I know there was one, Fanny's Gaze. There we go. Construction of female space. And then I could do advanced searches. Anywhere in a specific folder where the different areas are. Different things like that. So that's a nice feature. If I wanted to do all of them, I could look through all of them. That way there. Okay, so I'm going to leave RefWorks open. Now I'm going to show you how to export from Falcon Finder and EBSCO databases and ProQuest databases. These are the three big ones that we can do. So, library homepage. Okay. I'll do Jane Austen and masculinity.
So that's your.
That's my search.
And you want some information.
Mm-hmm. So I want to limit to scholarly peer reviewed, which should give me articles. I can also do full text online, which is probably good for a quick or a brief search. But I always encourage, again, I'm old school. There's interlibrary loan. If I'm doing my thesis or dissertation or original research for a paper, I want every source, not just the full text. If I need to interlibrary loan, then interlibrary loan will help me find things. But the idea, if I'm doing a literature review, I want to know all the literature that I can get my hands on. That, as I say, don't require a kidney or selling a child. Okay, so let's see, what is this for? Oh, that's a book review, I bet. Let's do a quick look. Give it much. Ah, it's a book review. Now I want to see if that works. It did. It took my record in. You see the DOI, the notes. I don't have a DOI. So I would need to go back and find the DOI. And I know I'll need that for citing my notes. A tag. Book review. So I'm not sure about it. So let me go to the full text. I need to download. It down for me. Okay. Let's go to the desktop. Book review. Then I go back into RefWorks. And that should have done it. Or in EBSCO, export. You're looking for the word export. And then RefWorks wants me to save. Let's go not in folder. There it goes. There she is. So there's the two. Now can I where are you going to go? There we go. So that must be it. There's the PDF. So I'm going to delete what I need and go on. And this is what I'm talking about where RefWorks requires a little effort. Is if I want to put everything in there and get everything right, I have to play with it. If I want the PDFs in there, I have to play with it like this.
If someone don't want, PDF.
No,
it's very easy.
I would probably, if I were them, you could email in EBSCO, if it has the PDF in EBSCO, you could email them to yourself, and then that would give you the PDF. You could have a folder of the PDFs and get it there. I would come up with a workaround that's comfortable for you to collect the PDFs. Does that make sense? So that you don't have to go back like I did and hunt for the PDF full text to read the article. And then see how we have different folders? So I can close this old one. I can go back. So that would be how you would do this, the full text. Let me go back to my results list.
And Stephen, there is the share option top. Before we have a little dot, that is the option. Import without.
In this, yes.
The share page option.
Yeah.
The three dot.
Yes. Right there.
Yes, that is it.
And then there's the export. So you could export this reference right away. And I'm going to do that by, there's all these reviews. It's the same one. See, they have duplication. When you're searching databases, you may have, okay. I'm interested in Jane Austen's. There's that another one. Comic masculinity, okay. And then this one. We have Navy men and soldiers in Jane Austen. He looks quite red, okay. Lightness, chivalry, and the construction of masculinity. Very interesting. Oof, that's possibility. Okay. So I have, you can see I have all the little note bookmarks. And this is the same one. Okay. Saved items, export to RefWorks. And then there it has, and I'm going to assign the tags and I'm going to import. We've saved 7 documents. And then there they are. And it looks like most of them are pretty good to do. And then I can edit this one. We have the new one open. Sometimes be careful, you can have 5 or 6 different RefWorks open. So just take a minute to get you to the latest. So that is Falcon Finder, how I did the individual ones with the PDF and how I did the groups of them. I'm going to go to databases, view databases. And then if I'm Jane Austen, it's an individual one. Just looking for an EBSCO database that I could do. So I'm going to do, humanities full text. Choose my databases. And then MLA. This will give you a nice abstract. For the English literature majors, MLA is just the bibliography. It will just give you the record. It won't give you an abstract. So sometimes you have to make guesses, but it's still a very good index. It just doesn't have the one that I want. Okay, so I need, and this is in a book. I need to see that. That's my other book. Endless Dance of Masculinity. Gender divisions. Ooh, and I like Pride and Prejudice. So I could do this by, there's my folder. I could do it by novel if I'm looking for other ways. Masculinity and crime, or by theme, music, emotions, different things like that. Ooh, 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 ooh. Performing to strangers. Yep. Film. And then taking it to fan fiction and variations. Meet him on no other way. I need to hunt down that book. Because there's all books. Okay. If you're ever teaching, don't choose a topic you're in love with, or you will drag your people through it. So there's folder up there. There's folder view here. And a lot of these are going to, you're going to mark them. Then you're going to take the ones you've marked and take them out. So I'm going to select all of them. Okay, just a hint to everybody. Bingo. It's an ebook too. Woohoo! Oh, that's a citation. Okay. Sorry, got too excited. That may be an interlibrary loan. And you may find yourself doing this, hopping back and forth. Export. RefWorks. Save. I want them not in folder. Import. This one I can close. Back there. Okay. Are we okay on that? Okay. And then since it's graduate students, I also throw in searching multiple databases at the same time. And sometimes the databases will eliminate the duplicates, sometimes they won't. We're all okay so far? Okay, good. Okay. And this is a ProQuest database. It is a business, unless I'm interested in Jane Austen as business, which it can be. I'm going to go to my other search. Then I can do let's do scholarly journals. Oh. This one. Oh. So this is their American Public Media Journalism. To look at to selected items, folders, so bookmark selected items. Back to my results. Journalism. Okay, gonna add that one too. Oh no, sorry. My research is personal account. Boom with strings attached. So I am seeing different things there. They're going to give me a subject or company. Okay. So I've got a few there. So I know we're getting to the end of the hour. Those are my three. I've selected them. Save and export all options. I export RefWorks. I'm not a robot. Oh, you're gonna make me do this, aren't you? There we go. Continue. Boom, my new RefWorks page, not in folder. Import, great. And so I'm going to close that one. Now I want to see. Yep. So I have a duplicate there, and that's that same one I'm going to have to play with. So it's basically the same there of gather them, add them to a folder, or it's saved for later, something like that. Those will change depending on what the database is, and then export them, or save to, or send to. And then it goes in, and you can see how my RefWorks is open and is keeping it up there. And before we go, I want to show you Word. There's my RefWorks tab. I would sync the database. That will make sure that the Word and your EBSCO are talking to each other. But this is after you've done the write and cite. There's my style. There's my APA. I can change it in here if I need to. Boom. So it puts it right there. No stopping, no going. 3, go back to the book. This is how you do it. And then then I can also at the end, we are done. We insert bibliography. Looks pretty clean. And off you go.
Thank you.
All right, so I have shown 11:52. It's lunchtime. Start the library. I hope this has provided a basic introduction to RefWorks. And then I've also, so you know everything, you know how to get into it from the basic databases, the most databases we have. If you are in another database like those books that I wanted to try, go in there, mark your records, look around. To see. And I wanted to show you what is the strengths of RefWorks and the ease of it, and then how it creates bibliographies. But I also wanted to show you, at least for me, what is the challenges of it. It's not a citation machine where you plug it in and you plug it out. It can do a lot more than just citing. It can help you manage massive amounts of bibliographies and citations. Yes.
Like creating your own library
For yeah, either
your
collecting it.
Studies, organizing it.
Yep, something like that, and it allows you to do that. And I'm also thinking that with the ideas of notes and fields, you could use RefWorks as your spreadsheet or as a tool to help you with your literature review. And what I mean by spreadsheet is when I had done an original research paper the last time, we had to do a big spreadsheet with the citation, all that information. And that was very helpful for me, that I could look at all that over and over and get the ideas and see the larger themes. And RefWorks could do that as the same. I'm thinking that it could allow you to look at those citations almost as data and allow you to manipulate it as you see. And as you think along of, and then maybe print them out in order. What I did when I had to write my lit review is I kind of took the ones I wanted to focus on and pulled them out and then had them sitting next to me with the articles in the order that I wanted to write about them as I was physically writing the literature review. So I believe that that is what ProQuest is trying to do with it, is to allow you to have the option of doing that, of seeing that the articles and the knowledge in them in a different way, to mix them up, to pull them. So you're not going through the spreadsheet or going through your cards in the old way. Flip, oh no, I know there was one that had cows in the title. Boom. Or which ones are longitudinal studies? Let me look at those longitudinal
I like
studies.
that too, about duplicates, because sometimes when
Yeah.
you don't have much time and you just
Mhm.
search and search, sometimes you don't know, do I have it twice? Do I have it 3 times? Did I?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah,
helps you
for
a
me,
lot.
that's fun because a lot of times when you're doing in the multiple databases, you'll come up with a lot of duplicates
Yeah.
and or things that you've seen before. And that does has its own signs, is that I'm running multiple searches and I'm getting the same thing and I've read them already. That could be a sign that you can stop. The old story was if you got a new article on your topic and you went to the bib and you recognized all the sources, you are done. You can move on. And that does happen with a very narrow topic. So it does, I think it has its worth. I think you have to do it its way or learn to manage it that way. Like I said, my only other concern is the full text and getting the full text or linking the full text or correcting those citations as they come in. I think one time I had folders for like, citations needed to be updated or citations reviewed okay, because it warns you about things, but you may not need that information. And you can also go into when you go into your record for each type, check what type it is. I've had some where they put it as like internet source when really it's an electronic article. And then if you change it to electronic article, then it will change what is cited. So I have it, let's see, edit, got to do the thing to edit. So it's the reference type is generic. So what if I did journal article? Would that make a difference? Would that save us? Okay. Yep. So I would need to go into this one in particular. So I would probably suggest that everyone play with it and figure out what works for best in your flows to be sure that what is coming in is good. Because garbage in, garbage out is the old saying. And some of these rules are judgment calls. Some of them are, and sometimes the databases have them and sometimes they don't. And sometimes the database will put everything in all caps when it's really not in all caps and things like that. So find your own flow, give it a shot. You've got places to go for help. Any last minute questions? No, okay. So I am going to stop recording and end this. This will be up on our library's YouTube page on Monday, so that you can review this again if you want to see my smiley face. Or you go through questions, maybe skip to your favorite part. I hope everyone has a good Saturday. For you warm weather people, it's going to be nice and toasty. If you're not a warm weather person, hang on. I think it's good. The weather's going to get better by Tuesday. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.